Good afternoon, everybody. Kevin Klein here from Operation 85, and instead of sending the email update with the formal letter, I decided I would do a quick video and just tell you how things are going, and things are going really, really well. We are at the halfway point, which is really, really exciting. That magic number of 643 crew members represented, which is the 60% number that the Department of Defense requires to do a disinterment. We've now have Operation 85 has sent in enough family members to represent 323. So we are over the halfway point by one, and now we're moving downhill. So thank you so much to all the family members that have quickly turned in their letters to the Navy and also quickly done their DNA kits and got them back. We have about 100 DNA kits still outstanding, I think, the letters or DNA kits. So if you have one or you've gotten one, please, it only takes about 3 or 4 minutes to do it. The directions are in there. You can always call me or email me. I've done, with some of our older family members, I've done FaceTime with them, and we've done it together so they can easily do it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, call me, text me. We'd be glad to help you through that, because while we have 323 that we've sent them, the Navy only has 191 crew members fully completed at the lab. So while some of those are in the process of being completed, there are, I think, almost 100 DNA kits that are still out. The Navy has really turned a corner with collaborating with us and working with us. Now they're making the phone calls to you guys to verify that you are indeed a family member, a paternal nephew, or a maternal niece, or whatever it is, how you're connected. They're proactively making the phone call to you and verifying that information on the phone, which means they're able to send the letter and the DNA kit out to you at the same time. So if you haven't gotten your information yet and you see Department of Navy on your caller ID, please pick it up. It's most likely the Navy. They want to verify your information quickly over the phone, and they're trying to get those kits out to family members and get them back as quick as possible. So thank you so much for everybody that has done that very quickly. For those of you that still have it out, you probably have received an email or two from me or from John Hardy, or a phone call from me or from John Hardy, and we're just trying to remind you to get those kits in so that we can get that number and get to our goal as quick as possible. We are working really hard to kind of continue this process, and if all goes well and nothing changes, we expect to hit that 643 number sometime early next year in 2024. So please just keep doing what you're doing. So many people have called and said, how can I help? And just the only way you can help is just get those DNA kits filled out back and get them back in, and that's the best way anybody could help us right now. A quick note, during the course of this project, I've talked to many family members. I've talked to sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of these crew members that are still alive, and just overjoyed that we're doing this project, and the family members have taken it upon themselves to do this and make sure we're doing the right thing for our family and these service members. Just a quick note, I ended up talking to the 96-year-old brother of Seaman First Class Robert Edwin Moody. I can remember his name very easy because my uncle's name is Robert Edwin Klein, so they share the same first two names. So I was talking to the brother of, he was 96 years old, the brother of Seaman First Class Robert Edwin Moody. His name was Harmon Moody. One of the most memorable moments I had was spending about an hour or so on the phone with Harmon, the brother. He told me stories about his brother. He told me stories about his family, and even told me some stories about when he also joined the Navy in World War II. He was a little younger. I think he was 17 when he joined, and it was towards the middle of the war. But he also joined the Navy as well, and it was just an amazing conversation. So excited to be able to talk to a brother. He was so excited about us doing this and being part of it. I actually mailed him an Operation 85 hat. He said he was going to send a picture and send it back. And then what happened was, about a month or two later, the Navy informed us that his DNA kit and letter had been returned by the Postal Service undelivered. And after I checked with a family member, I got the unfortunate news that Harmon passed away before he was able to participate and give his DNA for his brother. He was 96 years old. To be honest, it surprised me. He was sharp as a whip, a lot of fun to talk to. Just didn't seem like anything was wrong. And of course, he was 96, and we got the unfortunate news that he passed away. And I was really, really bummed to hear that, because he was one of the family members that I had kind of connected with and really enjoyed speaking with. And he wasn't able to participate. And I just want to reiterate the fact of why it's so important for the DPAA and the agencies that are watching us do this work. Delay and procrastination could kill this project. And it's unfortunate. I'm glad that we stepped up as family members and we're doing Operation 85 when we're doing it. And luckily, by the way, although Harmon did pass away, he has a bunch of loving family members from the next generation that did step up and donate their DNA. And Seaman First Class Robert Edwin Moody is fully represented and counted with his DNA. But unfortunately, his brother didn't get to participate. And again, I reiterate to the DPAA, I know you've kind of been watching on the sidelines as the Navy and the Marines and the Pentagon and all these other people have actually been helping and collaborating. We're waiting for the DPAA to step up and go with us full blast as well. And this is one of the reasons, because delaying and procrastinating finding these family members and leaving it to civilians to do it ourselves is what while we're doing the best we can as quick as we can, with your help, even with your marketing help, we could reach a lot of families very quickly, and we wouldn't have situations where family members are passing away. So just a point with that. The legislation. So for several years, there had been attempts to pass legislation for the USS Arizona unknowns. For many reasons, it failed. However, we changed up kind of what we were asking, and we really got close with some of the people involved in it and on these committees. And in June, we were successful in the House of Representatives and Congress of passing the very first legislation aimed at the USS Arizona unknowns. Some of the language that was passed in that legislation was, I would say, written incorrectly. Whoever got to it last changed some wording. We don't know who did that. We'll figure that out. But some wording was changed where it really made the legislation kind of pointless. However, it is currently being put up in what's called conference on the Senate side of the House. And the Senate Armed Services Committee, we have worked with many of the staff members and many of the members on the committee, and we're working with them to fix and correct that language so that the legislation that was meant to be passed and aimed at identifying the Arizona unknowns in the Punchbowl can be corrected and can be put in the 2024 NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. And, I'm learning all this stuff as I go as well. But just because it was passed and was passed in a way that we couldn't work with it, the Senate side, they can come and kind of rescue the day here, fix the wording with both sides, fix it in Congress. And it's kind of like the layman's term of how it works. It's very confusing. But I've spent many days, many hours, a lot of time, a lot of resources working on the Hill, working with the senators, working with the Senate Armed Services Committee and all the members there, and most importantly the staffers, because the staffers there are really the ones that get things done. We've been working really hard together to make sure that our message and what we need is put into that legislation. So great news with that. We will keep you updated. It did pass on the House. Some wording needs to be corrected. Hopefully the Senate will come through on this fall conference. We'll know sometime in December, maybe January, once everything is done, whether everything was done for us and nothing was pulled out last minute. So that's the update on that. I very quickly want to thank our team. There's just 4 of us doing this part-time. All of us have put our time, our lives on hold. I know I've put everything on hold for about the last 7 months, and then to have these professionals join me and pretty much do the same thing has been a godsend for us and for this project. So I really want to thank John Hardy, which most of you have probably talked to. He's one of our head researchers. Danny Abell, who is kind of quietly behind the scenes, but he's probably the hardest working one out of all of us. He's the one that tracks the family members down. I don't know how he does it, but he's just an amazing researcher, an amazing genealogist. He's got a great talent, and he's able to track you down, and that's when John makes the phone calls. So, and also, last but not least, and really another huge important is Melindy Lutz-Byrne. She is our certified or board certified genealogist that's in-house, working with Operation 85, and she confirms those relationships. So now when we're sending family members to the Navy and Marines, we're not just blindly sending someone and hoping they're related. We're actually doing the work behind scenes, confirming the relationship, and making sure that everyone we send to the Navy and Marines is 100% the correct type of DNA and the correct family member for what they need to potentially identify the Arizona unknowns. So a big thank you again to John Hardy, Melindy Lutz-Byrne, and to Danny Abell, kind of the core of this team, for helping us do that. And I do not want to in any way forget a lot of the family members at the very beginning who stepped up to help me when I started to realize how overwhelming this project was and I was all alone. I had many family members that were helping with Ancestry.com and helping make phone calls and emails and just kind of helping me figure out how to do this. So, and there's so many of them to name, but everybody knows who you are. Thank you so much to those family members, especially in the early part when I didn't have this as organized as we have it now. It really, you guys kept me going. So thank you again so much. I believe that's it for now. Again, if you have your DNA kits and your letters, please get them out as quick as possible. I greatly appreciate all the support and the help. Thank you again to the Navy and the Marine Casualty Office, our friends at the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Navy and the Pentagon. We have some officials there that have been kind of spearheading the collaboration. Thank you so much. And again, to our friends at the DPAA, I know that you are happy that we're all collaborating, but we're really waiting for you to kind of, step up and get on board and really kind of help us bring this home. We're halfway there, and we would love to discuss how we can quickly move to that 643. Our goal is not just to hit 643, but to make sure we have DNA representation for every single crew member, because when you guys begin that disinterment, whether there's 85 or there's 185 in those graves, we don't know until we know. We want to make sure that nobody is not represented and make sure that we have every chance to identify every single one of those heroes and our family members that are in those graves at the Punchbowl. That's it again. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everyone that's been helping us. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you or hear from you again, have a great holiday season. You'll continue to get updates from me. And if you want to check every day, don't forget, we update our stats on our website almost every single day. The Navy and Marines give us updates once a month, but we put our stats up almost every single day. So if you want to follow along, just go to USSArizona.Navy. Go to the original website. Right on the homepage, we'll have all the updates. And again, we try to do that as soon as we get new numbers, we update them, and it's almost daily. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday season if I don't talk to you. And hopefully next year we'll be announcing that we've reached our 643 soon, and we'll see what the next step is. Thanks again.